All right, y'all. I got a Hunter x Hunter fight. And today, or actually tonight, I have Ging Freaks versus Meruem. They'll be fighting NGL. Um, we know that Ging Freaks is one of those guys. He's part of the Zodiac. Um, and the Zodiac members are basically Netero's training partners. Now, Netero, he's strong as fuck, right? Ging Freaks, 2-star hunter, well respected amongst his peers, right? Well, they might not agree, see eye to eye on everything, but they understand he's a powerful Nen user too, right? And if he's like top 5 amongst Nen users in the Hunter Association, he's got to be powerful. So this is just my take, remember? Just like all the other fights. Physical strength wise, I'm giving it to Ging Freaks. I haven't read the manga, but I know he's somewhere like near Netero's strength. And I ain't saying Meruem's weak. You could easily give it to Meruem if you want to, people watching this video. But I'm gonna give it to Ging. I just think he has it like that. Striking power, surprisingly, um, pretty damn good at using Nen. And I know Meruem, he's gonna win some of these categories. Like speed, I got Meruem winning that. Because Ging Freaks, I don't think he has any technique that's like, 100 twice Guan Yin and he can just, send 1,000 hands out. You know, he's gonna be able to dodge, 2 hands coming at him. Um, and he's also, moving probably quick enough to get behind Jing, in certain, um, situations within the fight. He's a quick guy. Durability wise, Meruem, being an ant king, that bomb killed him almost, but his body was still, you know, you could tell he was still there, right? And also when he was getting hit with those hands, those Guan Yin hands, he wasn't taking too much damage from those. Endurance wise, I would give it to Jing Freaks. Something tells me this guy has decent endurance. Just the way he carries himself. I don't think he's a weak or maybe not just weak, but not gonna tire out too quickly in the fight. Even if his opponent's like powerful, he can meet him where he's at, kind of shit. Um, Intelligence wise, I give it to Meruem. And I say, Jing Freaks isn't a dumb guy because he created Greed Island. He's worked with other hunters in the past. He even knew going into it that he wasn't going to be the, um, you know, chairman. He understands who he is and his, cohorts are, all that. Um, and this guy's smart, but Meruem, he picks shit up on the fly. And these, like all the Chimerans were like that. They were able to learn Nen pretty quickly and all that, right? He just like I believe he picks up on shit much quicker. So that's why I gave him the intelligence. Experience wise, Jing Freaks, Meruem was only like, I don't know, a couple days old and he's, already, doing all that. Jing Freaks had to, grind, work, get his way to, being that 2-star hunter, one of the Zodiac members. He's like in his 30s, 40s, something like that. Close skills go to Jing Freaks. Gon, he uses his hands a lot. I think his dad uses hands. I'm gonna give it to Ging on that. Range skills, since Meruem has a tail, I'm gonna give it to Meruem. I don't know if Ging Freaks has any like long range attacks, like shooting out fists, shooting out Nen energy blast or anything like that. So I'm giving it to Meruem. Recovery, I'm giving it to Meruem as well. He came back from the brink. Hacks, I'm gonna give it to Jing. I'm giving him those, points. All that shit that Gon's doing, it comes from somewhere, man. And I'm like, Jing Freak's gotta be like, you know, he's gotta be like Gon, adult Gon, but maybe just as powerful as adult Gon, and like more effective, I'd say. Um, environment. I'm giving that to Meruem since he already fought in the NGO and he knows the environment. But surprisingly, I got Jing Freaks winning this. Extreme difficulty though, man. I have no idea about this man in the manga. I haven't read it yet, but I think he's gonna be, a tough guy. Um, uh, Let me know what you think about this in the comments and be cool on the corner.